Thank you, Karen Van Holbeck, for inviting me to speak today at your Entrepreneurial Innovation Bootcamp in Rare Diseases. I apologize that I was unable to make the trip from Toronto to Leuven to be with you today in person. I commend you all for endeavoring to help change the outcomes for all those living with rare disease. I hope that this video recording can successfully share a little about my life living with a rare condition, which has ignited me to start a patient organization in support of my rare disease. I was diagnosed with thrombotic thrombocytopenic purpura, or TTP, in 2008 after my mom took life-saving action by seeking out a third opinion. I was extremely lucky to not have experienced a heart attack, stroke, or kidney failure due to the delay in diagnosis. I have successfully fought TTP 7 times so far with plasmapheresis and blood from 700 donors, spleen removal surgery, chemotherapy, and immune suppressant medication. We still don't have a targeted treatment for TTP. This means that in addition to the plasmapheresis, which siphons off the bad stuff in my blood and replaces it with donor blood, we have used medications to suppress my whole immune system, not just that one part misbehaving. Since I was relapsing almost yearly, this treatment became a constant. Suppressing anybody's natural defense against infection and disease has consequences, but we were out of any better options. We knew that we were playing with fire, but TTP crisis was acutely dangerous. In the summer of 2015, I learned that the consequences of immune suppression had come far too early. I had stage 3C melanoma, and I was required to have an intense 8-hour surgery to remove and reconstruct my left upper back, followed by 6 weeks of weekday radiation. It was not pretty, but by Christmas that year we were hoping we had caught the cancer in time, and that would be the end of it. It wasn't. We weren't. Just months later, in the spring of 2016, I learned that my cancer had metastasized to my lungs and my lower right abdomen. Only 1 year previous, I would have been looking at surviving another 11 months. With the TTP diagnosis, I would not qualify for a trial to test new therapies, and there really wasn't any good course of treatment available for melanoma. Luckily, for me, a miracle immunotherapy chemo drug had recently been approved, and I was so lucky. It worked for me, and even luckier, this immune-stimulating drug, for some reason, did not trigger a TTP relapse. I can't begin to explain what my TTP journey has been like. I was a 28-year-old newlywed, recently graduated from my MBA program when it all started. I was planning a career in my family's paving stone business and a new family with my husband. My life and my husband's life was turned upside down, and the side effects of TTP treatment continues to test our resolve. My husband has been through this with me. His unwavering support has kept me positive, and my friends are lifesavers. A generous woman carried my baby to help me create a family with my husband. I am truly lucky. The cancer diagnosis has enabled me to tap into amazing support services available to cancer patients. Things I dream of having a version of to support those dealing with TTP. I deal every day with dueling diseases whose treatments are in direct juxtaposition. The lack of control can be overwhelmingly frustrating and frightening. The worst thoughts have been those of leaving my daughter so young. How could I miss the rest of her life? I need to be around to comfort and protect her. It would be so unfair to her. My way through this thing has been to start a Canadian charity with international reach. The name of the charity is Answering TTP Foundation. I have big ideas for our small, geographically dispersed patient group to ease the burden of living with TTP. The foundation is founded on 2 main beliefs. Number 1, a worldwide patient effort to fund the most effective TTP research will propel TTP research forward. TTP treatment will be improved, and we will find a cure. I will watch my daughter grow up. Number 2, peer support helps patients to help themselves. I knew nobody affected by TTP when I was diagnosed. Connecting with other patients brought me a great peace of mind. I want to ensure that even the most remote patients have that opportunity. The foundation was started in 2010 by me and two friends, since you need 3 people to sit on a board of a new charity in Canada. I had no idea how much work I was volunteering for at the time. And it was probably better that way. Since then, my board has grown to include experts from the charitable sector, accounting, law, and fundraising. Their advice has been instrumental in the development of our fundraising, research grant, patient support, education, and advocacy programs. My volunteer position with the foundation is full-time. I frequently wake up at 4 a.m. to squeeze these hours in because I am determined to regain some control that TTP has taken away from me. I believe that the work of the foundation does contribute to better TTP outcomes. Things are improving. I have seen the improvement in TTP treatment over the last few years. During my last relapse, the plasmapheresis was faster thanks to a new machine, and the replacement product was safer thanks to the availability of solvent detergent plasma in Canada, in part thanks to Foundation's advocacy work. The Foundation has dedicated over $1.6 million to TTP research through 2019 in the areas of biomedical, clinical, and population health research. The money for TTP research comes from a local Toronto, Canada event and a walk that engages the international TTP community to raise funds for TTP. This year, the walk had 150 walkers from Canada, the US, Europe, and Australia. We joined forces to walk in our local communities for 2 hours to raise funds and awareness for TTP. Over $40,000 was raised by our community to support the most effective international TTP research. It took me almost a year to speak to someone else with TTP after I was first diagnosed. The peer support brought me peace of mind that I hope newly diagnosed patients today can find much faster. To facilitate these connections, the Foundation has most recently started a new virtual support group program to connect our geographically dispersed community via video conference. Moreover, our established newsletter and website continue to be updated sources of information for the TTP community. Please direct your local TTP community to our answeringttp.org website to connect with our foundation, because we are stronger together, and I need the help of the international community to ensure that Answering TTP Foundation is sustained until the day when it is eradicated and nobody is left suffering from thrombotic thrombocytopenic purpura. Thank you very much.